And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yeah, Monday morning, March 3rd. Shout out to all my Pisces. What's up? Your B-Day, is it the same as mine, Case?
Same exact B-Day.
March 18th is coming up, dude. Oh, I could give two sheep. I don't care. At our age, do you care about B-Days?
It's a nice excuse to get all the boys together, play golf. We're playing at Rustic Canyon.
I feel like you do that.
Lake course.
I feel like you do that every weekend.
I do.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't care about B-Days. It is what it is.
What are you going to be, 42?
Yeah. Or 41.
I could have sworn you were going to be 43, but you said last, yeah.
I think you're 2 years older than me. I'm going to be the big 4-0. I'm reaching level 4.
So I'm 42.
Yeah.
Dang. It's wild. It's wild.
We all the same age now. If you're
mean,
in your 40s,
50.
I don't give a damn. No, we're 40. We're
What
all
are you,
40.
What are you, Chin?
47.
Hey, you're getting up there, Doug.
Yeah.
Old as hell.
You getting old, Doug?
Yeah. But we're all 40.
Yeah, whatever you tell yourself. You're at the back end of it, though, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
March is here, kids. March is here, and UFC 313 is here. Baseball is here. Rec ball is popping. Travel ball starts this weekend, thank God. Boy, is there a difference between rec ball and travel ball.
Tell me about it.
Dude, it is. Big difference, Case. I coach my son's rec ball team, and yeah, you have kids that never played before, but you mix them with the travel ball kids who are really experienced. Like, we have a kid who he cries every time he's up to bat.
I get it.
Yeah, I was like, I get it, man. Maybe baseball's not for you if you're going to cry every time, you know? And then the travel ball kids are scared, so they're hesitant to throw the ball to the new kids. So it's a bit of a disaster. It's fun, though. They had opening day this weekend, and they had 4 jets fly overhead for the opening ceremony. I was like, hey,
Super
bud,
Bowl?
how much did that cost? Yeah.
I saw those jets.
Yeah.
I was like, what are those doing?
They're the opening day at our Little League.
Yeah, because I think I live by.
Yeah, you live right there. Yeah. And they put out smoke. Mm-hmm. Now, I thought it should have been red, white, and blue smoke, but it was just gray smoke. That's my guard dog. Donnie thinks he's a Cane Corso. What is it?
Okay, thanks. It's just a package.
Yeah, just put it down there. Yeah. Yeah, I thought the smoke should have been red, white, and blue, but it's just gray smoke.
Maybe it's extra for the colors.
Nah, you're right. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I mean, let's invest that money in the snack shack. Forget these planes. And it's just, and I was like, yay. I'm like, dude, how much that cost? Whatever. They do it every year. So, yeah, I'm excited baseball's back, though, baby. My boy Walker Buehler on the Boston Red Sox. Looks like I got to root for the Red Sox this year a little bit.
The Sox.
The Sox. Got to root for them a little bit. But I'm just glad UFC is here, and it is popping. UFC 313. These fight nights have been tough, man. It's just I'm not one of those guys. There's a lot of negativity in MMA. I'm not one of these guys who's gonna harp on, oh, everything's watered down. There's too many cards. Because then when they don't have cards, like when they have that big holiday break, everybody cries. So the UFC is just they're doing the best they can. Look at these other leagues. They can't even put together a single card that you're gonna buy. And y'all want to complain about the UFC giving you fight nights? Still world-class fighters, but maybe not the biggest names, but I'll take it. When there's no UFC, it sucks, dude. So stop complaining, man. It could be a lot worse. You could have nothing. But this last fight night card, you just, man, it's tough. But I watch it all from the prelims. I love it. But they're still doing the damn thing on the pay-per-views for the most part. I mean, if you go back even 5-6 years ago, the pay-per-views were stacked from the prelims to the main card. Now, the UFC has a business model where they've kind of stretched themselves thin, where they're falling into the boxing model, where you have a big main event. Co-main event's usually pretty good, just depends. Sometimes it's not great. And then the rest of the card is just filled with guys. They're good and they're entertaining fights, but for the most part, they're falling into that boxing model, which they always talk trash about. And here we are. And the UFC's getting into boxing. TKO's getting into boxing. I'm sure it's in your current events, Chin. So they're falling kind of into that business model, which isn't great because that's what made the UFC different. Is you would buy a pay-per-view and you would get at least 5 big, exciting fights. Now they're falling into that box model where 2 of them are must-see TV, and the rest, like, yeah, hopefully they're good. It is what it is. They spread themselves too thin. That's all this is. But UFC 313, solid. Got my poor old friend Curtis Blades. You lose to the top guys, and then you're fighting Rizvan Kuniev. It sucks. It sucks for him. He'll win that one, though, hopefully. But let's get right into it with the main event, co-main event. This card took a little bit of a hit with Justin Gaethje, his opponent Dan Hooker falling out last week due to a broken hand in practice, and his crazy ass was still down to fight, but luckily he has smart coaches. They said, no, let's probably sit this one out. As a Justin Gaethje fan, I'm like, oh man, I hope he stays on the card. They find him opponent. A lot of names are going around. The top guys that he wanted ranked above him, most of them said no, which makes sense. Like, nah, I'm not going to fight Justin Gaethje on 10-day notice, and try to make weight. So they want to do it at catch weight, but the rumors they want it at 170. And Justin's like, no, that's way too big. So the catch weight, I think he would have done maybe 160, but his opponents want it at 170, and Justin Gaethje's not going to give up that much. Justin Gaethje also has to be careful, too. In hindsight, I shouldn't say that. It's smart for Justin to stay on the card and fight. He's coming off that knockout loss to Max Holloway, and that was brutal. And also, the main takeaway, obviously, that's the knockout of the year. Top 3 greatest knockouts in combat sports history. I mean, that was wild. But and I know everyone's going to reference that knockout with Justin, stuff like that. Justin wasn't winning that fight the entire fight. That's the thing. That fight wasn't that close. Max Holloway put on a hell of a performance. So my takeaway, yeah, he lost. He got knocked out. I know last second. Max pointed down, and we all remember that. But your takeaway should be is Justin was getting outclassed that entire fight for the most part. And then it just ended in that fashion. But he was down, 50-45. If it went to the judges' scorecards, he got swept in that fight. So for Justin, one of the greatest, most entertaining fighters UFC's ever seen. He lives by the sword, died by the sword, and that's what we got in that fight. Thanks to Max Holloway, he didn't have to do that because he's already up on the scorecards. So for Justin, this kind of a fork in the road for him. On one end, the business manager, protective guy in me goes, dude, just pull out, wait for Dan Hooker to get better, or wait for a better matchup. Don't take somebody on short notice. But then also there's an advantage to taking a Fiziev on short notice because the first fight was not an easy fight. Not an easy fight at all. And Fiziev's been off for a long time. Now he's taking on short notice. So you would favor Justin in this fight. You definitely have more chips in Justin's corner opposed to if Fiziev had a full camp, knew he was going to fight Justin. So, and they fought how long ago? They fought 2 years ago, March 18th. Damn, pretty damn close. 2 years ago, pretty damn close. So, and Fiziev's coming off, he lost to Justin, majority decision. Fight of the night, though, was a great fight. I wish it was they can't do it because it's short notice, but it should have been a 5-round fight. Hooker and him should have been 5 rounds. That's what we were told, and they changed it up in the marketing. That should have been a 5-round. Justin should always be 5 rounds. It's must-see TV. He's earned that keep. But for Justin, it's kind of a fork in the road. He's lost 3 out of his last 5. So obviously the Max Holloway loss, that was a tough one. Then he beat Dustin Poirier with a head kick, insane. They beat Fiziev, a majority decision. He lost to Charles Oliveira, beat Chandler, obviously lost to Khabib. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, he's lost 3 out of his last 5. You lose this one at his age, and especially in that division, it's getting a little hairy for him. He wins, he has 1 or 2 big fights to get to the title. You lose that title shot, it's just You're going to be the entertaining guy that they put third on the main card. You probably have 3 fights left. You win, you're right back in there. You're right back in there, especially with Makhachev leaving. You're right back in there. So this is a big fight for Justin Gaethje. Big fight. And Fiziev on short notice, I'll take it. I love Justin. I'll take it. And then the main event, I can't wait for. This has been, for Alex, especially since he got the light heavyweight, everyone's like, oh, I want to see him fight a grappler. He needs to fight a grappler. That's his Achilles heel. He needs to fight a grappler. He gets Khalil Roundtree. They're giving him, pickpocket kind of the exact fights that he needs stylistically. They're only giving him strikers. He needs to fight Ankalaev. I cannot emphasize this enough. Get close. I can't emphasize this enough. Turn up your car radio right now. Listen to me very carefully. I know Ankalaev is Dagestanian. I know. And we've all seen Dagestans. They have great wrestling backgrounds, and they fancy themselves wrestlers, and they're known for wrestling. He doesn't train with Khabib's team. His background is Sambo, but his fight style couldn't be any more clear. And the data shows, all the facts show this. Ankalaev, listen to me very fucking carefully, is a striker by all means. He fancies himself a striker. This is not a test of grappler versus striker. This fight at 313 is striker versus striker. It just so happens that a guy's from Dagestan, I know, should be a wrestler. He's not. Does he have that option? Yes, he does have that option, but in his heart of heart, Ankalaev is a striker. This is not a striker versus grappler matchup that y'all are hoping for, and it's going to be the Achilles heel of Alex Pereira. It's just not that. Ankalaev says he's not going to shoot. He's going to strike with him. Now, that could be all marketing and build up for the fight, but evidence would show Ankalaev in every facet is a striker. He's never won by submission. Ankalaev only wins 2 ways: decision or knockout. That's it. And when you look at Ankalaev's record, he doesn't knock out the elite strikers, MMA elite strikers. Sure doesn't knock out world-class strikers like Alex Pereira, who has a Glory World Championship. So if you're going to tune in Saturday night, you're with your boys, right? You got the Domino's there, extra sauce. It's fresh. It's piping hot. Like, all right, boys, Alex can get taken down for 5 rounds. You're going to be sadly disappointed. Now, that's not to say that when this fight starts off, Ankalaev fancies himself a striker from Dagestan. And it's happened. It's like being a Brazilian not knowing jiu-jitsu. It's weird, right? It just doesn't seem right. But there's those guys out there. Ankalaev's going to fancy himself a striker for the majority of the start of this fight. Then he's going to eat a ton of leg kicks, and the speed of Alex will turn him into somewhat of a grappler. But that doesn't mean you're going to get 5 rounds, 25 minutes of Ankalaev just humping Alex's leg. It's not in his nature. And he makes some bonehead mistakes that cost him the fight. Now, if you do that against Alex Pereira, you wake up with the ref over you and the fight's over. So I just don't think for 25 minutes Ankalaev can just withstand and strike with Alex. It's just not possible. He doesn't have the skill set to keep up. Now, can he make it ugly, take him down, mix it up, maybe land something? Yes, he's a powerful, big-ass dude. He's a big-ass dude. But you go through his record, who's the best striker he knocked out? Let's go through it real quick so I can educate a few of you that think all Dagestanians just wrestle. Ankalaev fancies himself a striker. Racket, good striker. Decision. Johnny Walker, wild, super wild, got KO'd. So that's probably the best guy that he KO'd. Before that, they had that illegal knee. Jan, he's good at kind of everything. Anthony Smith, again, good at everything, but not the elite of the elite strikers. Ozdemir, pretty good striker, decision. Krylov, decent striker, decision. Kulibra knocked him out, but again, not elite striker. Go through it. Who's the best striker he's knocked out? If he fights another striker, he's not humping their leg. He's not taking him down. he gets in this exchange on the outside and this striking, almost sparring battle, and he'll beat most of them, but he doesn't knock out those I shouldn't say elite MMA strikers. So the chance of him knocking out a high level striker of Alex is not good. Now, that being said, this fight goes past 2 rounds, it's probably going to go to Ankalaev's favor. He's probably going to win the fight via decision. It's very tough to beat Ankalaev in decision. It's tough, especially for Alex, where he doesn't have the option to wrestle. So if this fight goes past 2 rounds, you start getting into that 3rd round, it's probably going to go towards Ankalaev. Not going to be that exciting of a fight. If it stops before 5 rounds, it's Alex Pereira. All right, kids, let's take a little break here from the Schaub Show, breaking down UFC 313. Because when you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe, Allbirds, Skims, Drive Fast, All Gas, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, brilliant marketing, but often overlooked secret is actually the business behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Cha-ching! Nobody, I say nobody, does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, everywhere in between. Business that sell more, sell on Shopify. Drive Fast All Gas is powered by Shopify. They make it so freaking easy. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout as Drive Fast All Gas. That's what we use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, SCHAB, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase. Cha-ching. But the narrative, again, y'all, the hood's been pulled over your eyes here. The narrative that this is grappler versus striker is not correct. Look at the tendencies of Ankalaev. Look how I think he averages 1 takedown attempt every 15 minutes. It's not high at all. I think his success rate's like around 30-ish%. And you don't think Alex training with Glover Teixeira's takedown offense has gotten a lot better? Is he going to get taken down? Probably. Yeah, probably. But yeah, Ankalaev, what's he going to submit him? He's never had a submission. You look at Ankalaev, he makes some mistakes in his fights that cost him to go to a draw. You know, he does some bonehead stuff sometimes. I just think Alex has the advantage in this fight. And the UFC, if you don't think the UFC brass is praying to the MMA gods that Alex wins this fight, good Lord, buddy. Ankalaev wins this fight, you do the rematch, but maybe he's the Achilles heel. They can't create a star out of Ankalaev. You just can't. Alex is your biggest star, was his 4th title defense in under a year. Wild. We've never seen anything like this. He's also 37, so there's not a lot of left juice in that towel to keep squeezing out. You know what I'm saying? So for Alex, this is the butterfly effect. He finally gets over the hump of beating that the marketing and the media and the general public thinks is a grappler. Okay, cool. It's still not, but we'll run with that because he did beat him, if he does beat him. So if he beats Ankalaev, what's next for him, there's nothing at light heavyweight anymore. There's nothing. He's going to beat everybody. You're not going to do Jan again. You're not going to do Yuri again. We've seen that. There's not a ton there. You got Jamal Hill and Roundtree fighting. Maybe if there's like a big, flashy knockout, exciting knockout, maybe the people want to see that. But we've kind of seen it. There's not a ton left at light heavyweight for him. And there's only he might have 2-3 fights left. He's 37, you know? So the butterfly effect, the pebble in the pond, what happens, and this is what UFC's hoping, guarantee they're praying to the MMA gods this happens. Alex Pereira knocks Ankalaev out. Highlight, finally beat the grappler, quote unquote. After this, if you notice, John Jones isn't saying a peep about Tom Aspinall. There's nothing. There's no smoke there. There's nothing going on there. John Jones is chilling. He doesn't have to do anything. If he fights Tom, great. If not, all good. I'm still the greatest of all time. There's no pressure on John. He doesn't give a shit. I know you guys think he has to do it for his legacy. He doesn't. And that sucks for Tom. Tom and John isn't happening anytime soon, which is horrible for the fans, but for John, it's whatever. He could take it or leave it. There's nothing at heavyweight for Tom Aspinall. It's a train wreck at heavyweight. They have nobody. There's no stars. There's nothing. You have Cyril gone. It's like, all right, we kind of know how that it's going to go. Tom's going to take him down, choke him out. All right, I guess we'll feed him. Cyril gone. No one gives a shit about that fight, including Cyril gone and Tom Aspinall. Maybe Cyril's like, all right, I'll do it. But, it's an awful matchup for him. There's nothing there. There's nothing there at heavyweight. So this is what I think is the plan. Alex Pereira knocks out Ankalaev. And then the next fight for Alex is against Tom Aspinall. The winner of that might get John out of bed to start hitting the road, doing some groundwork. And the winner of Tom, Alex, is going to fight John, and that's John's last fight. And that fight will go down in June. Meaning Alex Tom. Now, this is all predicated off if Alex beats the quote-unquote grappler. If he doesn't, it's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. If you're an Alex Pereira fan, it's a disaster. Because if he loses this fight, you want to see him fight Tom Aspinall, who's a better grappler, stronger, black belt on the ground? No, that's out the window. If he gets taken down by Ankalaev and Ankalaev gets his first submission victory, they're not going to be like, okay, go fight Tom now. No, it's over. When I tell you the UFC is, I know most of the time it's the brand. We don't care. I get all that. I'm telling you, they are biting their fingernails. Everyone in that office is praying to the MMA gods Alex wins this fight. It's where all the money's at. It's where all the big fights are at. And Clive wins. There's not much we can do. Heavyweight's so screwed. And there's nothing on the horizon either. We got nothing to look forward to at heavyweight. Nothing. Alex has to win this fight. If you like exciting MMA, Alex has to win this fight. I've never cheered for a guy harder than Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. It's just, you want big fights. You want the exciting fights. So the pressure on Alex, and he's like, whatever, man. But I'm telling you, the pressure on Alex is not only is the UFC banking on you to win this fight and finally get past this quote-unquote grappler from Dagestan, but if you don't, it screws over Tom Aspinall. It screws over it doesn't screw John Jones over. He's fine no matter what. But it screws over all that potential. John, we probably never see John fight again. He's not going to get out of bed now. He's like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, but Tom's better than you. Okay, cool. Still the GOAT. He'd beat you. Okay, can't prove it. I'm retiring undefeated. I'm not going to sit around until you guys find some young lion to beat me. It's not worth it. But if Alex starches Ankalaev, then there's so much momentum on Pierre. There's so much. And then they'll start paying him the bag to fight at heavyweight. Be the underdog. Fight Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall beats their biggest star. Now we're cooking with gas. Now that gets John out of bed to go, okay, yeah. Now his star's gotten a little bit higher. Now I'll do it. All that goes away if Alex loses this fight. You don't see any of it. Right now, what he's doing is not enough to get John out of bed. It's not. You would have heard by now. It's just John's not motivated by the naysayers. It's just not. He's been around too long. But if there's all this hoopla around International Fight Week, it's the summer, Tom, Alex, bro. And Tom starches him, gets on the mic, does a hot promo. John goes, all right, let's do it. Or heaven forbid, Alex beats Tom, even bigger. All right, let's do it. Your biggest superstar in the UFC, the face of the UFC, and he's a striker. He can't really grapple. I'll take that. And I'm the favorite in that fight. Yeah, I'll come out of retirement. Or whatever the hell he's doing. Yeah, that'll get me out of bed. So the pressure on Alex, just to be clear, is if you lose this fight, we never see John Jones fight again. Long story short. And Tom's fucked. He'll just be fighting the dinosaurs, the guys we can't pronounce their names, and in the heavyweight division. The state of the heavyweight division is a train wreck. It's all riding on the back of Alex Pereira and this fight at 313. And it seems like a jump, seems like a stretch. Look into it. There's nothing. This is the only way it has to go down. And Alex can do it. And everyone in that office, I know they can't pick sides and favorites. Sure. Everyone is foaming at the wiener for Alex to win this fight, including myself. What else you got, Jen? Who you guys got in the fight? Case?
Alex.
Knockout, right? How else would he?
First, second round, yeah.
He can't win. There's no other way he can win. Was he going to submit him? No. Decision? No. Has to knock him out. The thing that does scare me is Alex does get hit. He'll trade and get hit, but I think that's a lack of respect for his opponents. That's when he gets in trouble. Roundtree connected with him, but I don't think he respected him at all. He was like, yeah, okay. But he still, it was great fight and ended up dismantling him. The Izzy fight that he got knocked out in, again, just exchanging wild, gets clipped, knocked out. But prior to that, the fight was going just like the first one. So I think he's like he just kind of takes his foot off the gas. He's like, these guys aren't at my level. But Ankalaev, since he's got here, everyone's like, you got to fight Ankalaev, dude. You got to fight Ankalaev. So I think he's taking this one serious, and he knows what's at stake here. And a focused Alex, good fucking luck, dude. Good luck. But he does get hit. What does a mechanic, an auto shop owner in Georgia, a taco restaurant operator in Arizona, and a life savings medical innovator in Tennessee all have in common? They're all small businesses, and they're thriving on TikTok. She Mechanic, AZ Taco King, and CPR Rap are just 3 of the 7.5 million businesses across the U.S. that are using TikTok to compete and grow. From family-run establishments to entrepreneurs, 74% of businesses on TikTok say the platform has allowed them to scale their operations, increase sales, and expand to new locations. And that growth means jobs. Today, millions of businesses on TikTok employ more than 28 million people and counting. Small businesses thrive on TikTok. Learn more about TikTok's contribution to the U.S. economy at TikTokeconomicimpact.com.
And plus, he's been doing he's so famous right now. He's been doing so much social media stuff, a lot of press, media. I don't know. As
Heavy lies the crown.
As you when you got popular, I'm sure you had to do a bunch of stuff. Did that really mess you up as far as being the best fighter you can be?
No.
So you're still good.
There's guys it does fight. It messed up Ronda because she's doing movies and she's doing this but she was so especially at the time, she was so much head of the curve. She was so much better than everyone. Yeah. She could kind of get away with it for a little bit, and then those girls caught up, and then Holly Holmes came in, and Amanda Nunes. Then you're fucked. But Alex's skill set, his striking is so much higher than everybody else is. I'm not too worried about it. And he knows Ankalaev, he has to take it serious. I think, again, the media and the social media will make it seem like Alex isn't taking this serious. Alex knows his legacy is banking on this. There's so much at stake for him. He's going to say it's just another fight. Buddy, this is the first, quote unquote, it's not, but for the casuals out there and for the marketing and the ESPN heads who don't know shit about fighting, when they say he's never fought a grappler and they think this is his first grappling test, for him if he were to lose this, then it's he was just the guy they gave beneficial matchups to get him to fight Izzy, and then she kind of ran with it. They gave him perfect matchups. But anytime he fought a grappler, he lost. That's what's at stake for him. Even though it's not a real grappler. So the whole narrative, he's not taking this serious. He's at Drake concerts. Okay.
Yeah, I totally think he's taking it serious, but
he's training just as hard.
That's the thing that was
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Especially, and remember, it's not like he's like John Jones young. Granted, John Jones is a bad example, but it's not like because he's undefeated. But it's not like he's 21 and just rose to fame. You're talking about a grown man at 37 who used to work at a fucking tire shop who's only been in the UFC about 3.5 years. You're not dealing with a young kid who recently got to fame. He's super appreciative. He knows what's taken to get here. And the reason he's so active, he's smart. He knows there's a clock going. He's like, yep, give me him. I got to get going. Because once Father Time touches on the shoulder, it's going to get dicey. He knows this. And he knows he's trying to maximize in his prime right now before it's too late. So if you think a guy who's that aware of his age and what's at stake and to maximize his career, if you think he's just fucking around, which stylistically might be the hardest fight of his career, no, come on. It's fun for us to talk about. It's fun for the media and for social media to make those, assumptions, but no. He's 37.
Yeah. But I mean,
grown man.
I'm not saying fucking around. I'm just saying like he has
just
all
not
his
training hard.
Obligations. Like there's so many things that outside of training that he does. So
yeah, I know.
Does that affect him? But I mean,
I'm not worried about a guy. Now, if he's 24, 25, 26, be tough. 37? Most active champ we've ever had? 4 title defenses in a year? Nah, he got it. He should have it. And remember, his mentor is Glover Teixeira. If you don't think Glover from day one has been working on fucking takedown defense for this exact reason. Now, Ankalaev, again, he doesn't shoot that much. Maybe he will in this fight. I think he's going to be forced to. I think his legs are going to get eaten alive. Like, Jan ate his legs alive. You don't think Alex is going to do that? So Alex going to eat his legs fucking alive, and he's going to be like, fuck. In my heart of hearts, I'm a striker, but I can still wrestle, so you're going to see more shots, but it might be too late, and then he gets knocked out. That's what I think happens. He says he's not going to shoot and grapple. Guarantee he's going to get a few of these leg shots. You can see the speed and power of Alex, and if he doesn't get knocked out, he's going to start grappling. He's not that dumb, He has his sambo background. He has all that Dagestan background. But again, not in pure wrestling. But he does have the ability to grapple, even though he has no submissions ever. So I think he's going to go in with one mindset. Well, I'm a striker. I can strike with Alex. He's learned real fast. Strickland thought the same thing. I'm a striker. You are. You're not world class, though. There's a big, big difference. In MMA, there's MMA elite strikers, and then there's world-class strikers, whether you put them in any organization. Alex is one of those guys. And your team's telling you can strike with this guy, and then for the most people, they learn the hard way that you can't. And you should have used your tools. I also think Ankalaev, if it goes how I think it's going to go, he loses his fight, but it makes him better. And then Alex goes up to heavyweight, and Magomed's going to be your champion. He's going to be a champion. And he's going to learn from the fight, okay, I got to incorporate a little more grappling. I can't just sit on the outside and do my thing and fancy myself a striker all the time. I got to be a mixed martial artist, and this will do that. This will do that. It's kind of like how Makhachev, remember Makhachev? His striking was like Khabib's, terrible. Then he gets starched. Remember, he got fucking knocked out early on in his career. That was the best thing that ever happened to him. Now his striking's so much, way higher than anybody else out of that camp. He's a complete mixed martial arts fighter. So even with the top strikers, he can strike now. His defense is pretty fucking good. He really doesn't get hit like that anymore, And then his grappling is world class. So now it's not like you're fighting Khabib where you just got to worry about this insane ground and pound and grappling. No. With Makhachev, you better have your fucking striking on board too. And I don't think he makes those adjustments and those leaps in his game if he didn't lose that fight. And that's the knock on when you say greatest of all time, he's better than Khabib. He has that one loss, sure. But that one loss made Makhachev who he is. And I think for Magomed, it's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to learn the hard way. It's going to be a tough learning lesson, but it's going to help evolve his game. And then he's going to incorporate a little more grappling and not just shoot once every 15 minutes, where the fuck the numbers say. He's going to start doing a little more, and then it's going to open up his game. But he's going to learn the hard way Saturday night. Let's hope. Let's hope he doesn't have a come to Jesus moment and be like, I can actually grapple. This is time to do it. That would suck. What else you got, Jen?
Do you want to cover any of the fight nights fights?
Cape looked fantastic. I mean, again, we got eye pokes second week in a row.
Yeah,
he gave him
with the old
the windshield wiper eye poked, like left to right, and then knocked him out, right? Mm-hmm. Dirty. We got a problem in the sport with eye pokes. You got a problem in the sport. How you can't watch that on replay and go, oh, no. You literally just fucking slapped both of his eyes and then won the fight. They should look back and like, it happened as a result of eye poke. This is actually no contest. It's just not the world we live in. Again, because guys don't give a fuck. Because the referees aren't doing anything about eye pokes. So if you're going to allow these guys to get away with it, they're going to do it. They're not bad people. It's on the refs. They're going to take as much as they can get until you start incorporating and disciplining these guys. Yeah, this is going to keep happening.
Yeah. Yeah, automatic point.
Automatic.
I think the majority of, or pretty much everyone I've seen that in the MMA world are saying like,
be hard to
automatic.
Argue,
yeah,
what's wrong with eye pokes? What?
Yeah.
Poking guys in the eye?
Even if it's an accident. Yeah.
Like this should be a DQ for Cape. Even though he's lighting him up before this and winning the fight, this is DQ, man. You won by an illegal blow. Both eyes? We're going 2 eyes now? Let's take a little break here. Then we're going to jump right back in UFC 313. Usually I say don't bet on my advice, but if you're going to bet, make sure it's with DraftKings because UFC 313 is back in Vegas. It won't be paradise for one of the light heavyweights in the main event. You're talking Alex Pereira, Ankalaev. It's finally going down. Don't miss out on any of the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Alex Pereira defends his light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev, but that's just the cherry on top of an amazing night of fights. This card is stacked-ish. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code SCHAUB, that's SCHAUB show. That's code SCHAUB for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 buckaroos. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
So Julian Marquez, this is his 4th KO. I think in all of his rounds, it's like always in the first round for the last 4 rounds or the last 4 fights. So
yeah, he's like, I love Marquez. He's the man, but this isn't.
Oh no,
this isn't 2010. You can't just rock 'em, sock 'em robot anymore. Guys are too good. Way too good. The game's just advanced,
Also, a big thing that happened over the weekend was Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. And a lot of people are saying, especially like people that are in the boxing industry, are saying that Lamont Roach was robbed by this fight.
Yeah.
And there's a weird knee that Tank...
Yeah, and Tank said he took a knee because he's got his hair done and something went into his eyes. It's like, it doesn't matter what the fucking... It's so wild to me. It doesn't matter what your reason is for taking the knee. Whether you get punched in the face, punch in the stomach, hair product in the eye. If you take a knee, dude, that...
Yeah, everyone said it was a knockdown because if you take a knee, it should be conconsidered a knockdown.
Dim the rules.
But the referee didn't consider it a knockdown.
Well, and this is the problem with boxing. Apparently it's bleeding over to MMA, but this is the problem with boxing. It's so shady. Gervonta Davis is your cash cow. He's a huge, huge name for them. Mm-hmm. Big pay-per-view star.
And because his hairdresser got a lot of backlash, she's
all, what the fuck?
So this is from Happy Punch. I don't know. I didn't do a ton of deep research in this, but this is what apparently she wrote.
Take a look around. You see an overload of grease everywhere? Newsflash, you're not. Still ate those braids up, but don't make my girl the reason for being a draw.
So I'm guessing that's one of her employees that did the actual braids.
Good for her.
And this right here, you see what the the substances: shine, define, protein rich.
No wax, no grease, no alcohol, no flaking.
Yeah. So
Says the grease.
Oops.
Says the grease in question.
But his hair, dude, that looks dope. Whoever did the braids.
I don't know braids, but
That looks awesome.
damn, his mustache is half. He goes. I haven't seen a half like that in a hot.
Sometimes you can't grow it, dude.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah.
But she just lost the client. I don't think she gives a fuck.
Yeah, people were like, apparently like,
Someone said it's all your
bombarding her
fault.
Social media. Yeah. Anyway,
Someone said you did more damage than his opponent. It's so stupid.
that was weird though when you saw it.
Boxing's such a train wreck.
He was like he took the knee, then he ran out to the corner, and it was like,
Got a towel? Yeah,
that's
that's wild.
So there's a huge boxing card in May 2nd in Times Square, which is going to have Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is. Ramirez Boxing.
Tiafomo,
yeah,
yeah.
of course. And then Barboza, Arnold Barboza.
When's this going down?
May 2nd in Times Square. And it is going to be funded by that Turkey Al-Ashik guy.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's good to see Ryan back.
Yeah.
I thought he was suspended for like a hot second, but
I guess by that time, he'll be fine after that suspension. Yeah, I don't follow boxing that much, so. So this, what happened?
just looking at my dog. Just wandering around.
So it's not done yet, but there's talks right now for TKO and UFC and WWE to set up a new boxing thing. You know, Dana White has always been talking about doing a boxing league, so apparently it's going to happen now. Yeah, it's getting very close.
Yeah, I watched the press conference. Keep referring to it as a league, which is the issue when you talk about the Ali Act. That's how they get around a lot of stuff because the UFC is not a league. So it could get a little dicey there. But then they also were talking about how they're not putting any of their money up front. Like they're going to get paid to be the production behind it.
Yeah, which is good. They have the best production. Yeah, and funded by that guy.
Sure. I just think the UFC's looking at the trend of boxer, famous MMA guy, and I mean Mayweather, McGregor. They had their hand in, but all the Jake Paul stuff, the Francis stuff, they don't have any hand in it, and they're going no more. We're gonna start our own boxing thing, and we're gonna represent those high level names, and now we can control the UFC guys fighting the boxing guys and take a huge cut of it. That's what's going on. Like the trends is the super trend is influencers and world class boxers fighting our UFC guys, whether they're current or old. No, we're not just going to take 50% anymore. We're going to control it. We're going to take a piece from both of these bitches. That's all it is.
Yeah, that money in Saudi Arabia is insane.
That's all they're doing. They have the funding now. That's all they're doing.
All right. Your boy Chito Vera, he's going to be fighting Mario Bautista.
Fight. Yeah, it's a tough fight.
UFC Des Moines, Iowa.
You know we're going.
Yeah, so I looked at Bautista's record, and he's on what?
He's a problem.
7-fight win streak, and Marlon has lost the last 2 fights. So
To the top of the.
definitely the top. Yeah.
But it's a tough fight for Cheeto, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, fork in the road for Cheeto here.
And this is, I don't know if it's official yet, but Bo Nickel versus RDR. So people are saying like that's when he's going to lose.
Which is wild. I thought RDRs look pretty good. RDRs look pretty good. Hasn't looked like a world beater.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, he was a world champion from one and was a 2-division world
But he's
champion.
like very wild and like, yeah.
And his grappling's world class. Here's why I don't like it. Does this mean we're going to get Bo striking the entire time because he's scared of this guy's jiu-jitsu again? Come on, Bo. Be like the Dagestanians in this sense. Flex your muscle, dude. If you're that good of a wrestler, beat this dude's ass on the ground. Fuck his jiu-jitsu, man. Because what I don't want to have happen is Bo's like, all right, I'm not going to the ground this guy like his last fight. Like, refuse to go to the ground, and we get fucking 15 minutes of low-level striking. It's not going to get him where he wants to go. The way he's fighting, not incorporating his world-class wrestling, his bad striking isn't going to get him where he wants to go and where he should be going. Dude, impose your will on these fucking dudes. Show off that world-class Penn State All-American wrestling, no matter who it is. No matter who it is. Don't be that scared of somebody's fucking jiu-jitsu, dude. Since when? Beat his ass on the ground. Don't play his game. What we can't do is, because they give you a high-level grappler, is we can't just have you sit on the outside and bullshit strike anymore. That's not going to work. It's just not. The UFC is too competitive now. Those days are over. Those days are over. It's not 2008. You can't do that anymore. I don't like that they keep giving grapplers. And I love, Mick Maynard, and I love Shelby, but it's like, dude, let him show off his wrestling. Because all the history points, when you give him a grappler, he's like, nah, I'm not going on the ground. And we get really shitty striking for 15 minutes. I don't see fucking Bo Nickel box. I don't see RDR box. RDR ain't taking him down. That ain't happening. So then RDR's going to be forced to strike. God damn it. And Bo's going to be forced to strike because he refused to take him down. God damn it. Then we don't get high-level fighting. I can go to the local fights and get that. Rep the street, baby. I hope Bo's learned from that one. Like, all right, I just can't strike. I got to impose my will. I'm a world-class wrestler. I need to use that. His jiu-jitsu's not that scary. You can go down there. Let's take a little break here. This episode of the Schaub Show, breaking down UFC 313, is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game, shifting a little money here, a little money there, hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance. They'll help you find options within your freaking budget. It's that easy. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by not state law. Not available in all states.
Oh, that's what I remember. When he did, he looked good.
You're talking about against Val? But
Yes,
that guy
I know what you're
was cutting
saying.
lawns 2 weeks prior.
I know.
So yeah, but this is the problem. So he fell in love with his striking. It's like, fuck your striking. Be the Khabib, but fucking American, dude. It doesn't matter. Grappling, decorated, just impose your will, ground and pound these bitches out, rack up the wins. You can surprise them on the feet if they're just expecting a takedown, but you can't just strike, dude.
Yeah.
You're just not there. There's not enough hours in the day for you to catch up to the rest of the division at the highest level. It's never going to happen. What is going to happen is you can dominate with your grappling and finish dudes off. No homo.
This is a pretty cool fight. So Jamal
Great
Hill
fight.
versus Khalil Roundtree.
Great fucking fight. Love that fight.
April 26th.
Love that fight. The fight we're all asking for. We know that could be next in line, especially if it's exciting.
That Khalil's last fight was.
I'd like to see
Alex
Yuri
was
Khalil.
amazing.
Yuri Khalil would be fun.
How about this? That John Silva guy he's been popping up lately because he's had a bunch of first round knockouts, and then he's going against Bryce Mitchell.
And I tweeted this. I said, granted, Bryce said some wild shit. And this is the UFC's way of disciplining him. Now, in that, Silva's a beast. He's knocking dudes out, and he's on huge momentum right now, and Bryce is a huge underdog. I get all that. But don't get it twisted. Bryce can fucking fight, man. We don't agree with his opinions. He's a wild boy and thinks the earth is flat and all that shit and does drawings to convince you. I'm not on board with that. I think it's great. I think he needs to keep doubling down on the flat earth stuff and be that character. Forget the Hitler stuff, right? Maybe ditch that out of the bag of tricks. But when it comes to flat earth, just keep doubling down on it and people support it. But this isn't an easy fight for Silva. Like, Bryce can grapple, dude. Silva was taken down by way less grapplers than Bryce. I know Bryce is a big underdog, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce wins this fight. It's going to take a guy like a Topira who beat the brakes off him, who can wrestle his ass off and strike. But Silva ain't the best grappler in the world, especially wrestling. Bryce can eat you up. Bryce can win this fight.
Yeah.
Will he win it? I don't know. It's a tough fucking fight for Bryce. But as far as discipline goes, like, there's worse matchups they could give him, for sure.
Yeah, the last time I talked to Nick, our Golden Hour producer, he's like, he really believes in Bryce in this fight.
Me too. And I was like, oh, Bryce is going to win that fight. If you think this is discipline, no, you're fucking on with Silva here. Everyone thinks he's going to go in there and starch Bryce. It's like, not if Bryce is ready to go. It's a tough fight for Silva.
Okay, this one also, Jose Aldo versus Amin Zahabi, who is Faraz Zahabi's brother, who's been killing it lately. So they're going to fight in Montreal.
Right, can we put a little respect on Jose Aldo's name? You're talking about one of the greatest, if not the greatest, to ever do it, and you just keep tossing these young lines to build their name off Jose. And how about Jose? A fighter's like, yeah, I'll fight whoever. I don't give a fuck. Just keeps doing it.
He's a badass, yeah, of course.
He's a badass. Come on, UFC. Quit taking advantage of the guy.
All right, so take this with a grain of salt. So Alex Pereira said that he wants to bet $200,000. I know you can't bet if you're a UFC fighter, but this is what he's saying. He's betting $200,000 on the charity of their choice. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, like, Ali Abdelaziz, who manages Magomed Ankalaev, if you guys really believe you're going to win, then just let's bet this $200,000, and I want to donate it to, like, children's cancer, something like that. And then I think Ankalaev and Ali said that they would think about it for another day or two, and then give an answer. But so I don't know if this is even legit. You can't bet, right?
No.
Even if it's like you're not taking the money, you're donating it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. But even that being said, if you're Ankalaev, you'd be like, just say yes.
Yeah.
Don't be like, I got to think about it. Like, that's bad luck. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't like
just give us a day.
Yeah.
Dude, so Robelis Despain, remember, he was like this huge prospect in MMA, and then he went to the UFC. I think he lost like one or two. He's in karate combat now, and he's been destroying. And this is the last fight that he had.
Second record! Yeah, in the black pants.
That's the Kevin Randleman look. Three fights, 3 straight months, lasting a total of 23 seconds.
The DeLorean DMC token. Well, I'll get to DeLorean in a minute. The DMC freestyle is live now. No, this is Bandia looking for a quick start. Marcus bringing out someone and he drops.
He's just starting these dudes. I don't know who he's fighting. They don't look great. Good for him, though, for finding his niche. Who the fuck is he fighting? I mean, he's starching.
It's so
these
crazy.
Cats.
Yeah. It's like, this is exactly what he needed to do, karate combat. Well, I didn't realize Tyson Pedro was out of the UFC.
I know. It sucks.
I must have forgot.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so he did professional boxing now, and he won. So
good for him.
The right hand sets it up. Now the body shots, the body work.
Yeah, that right.
That's slow motion, by the way.
That's right at the top.
What'd you say?
That's slow motion, by the way.
See you later, alligator. Good stuff from referee Brad Vicali, once again showing his experience.
Good for Tyson.
Yeah, that's great. Did you see this, Dustin Poirier? Okay. You can read it for the fans if you want to.
So it says, Dustin Poirier served as a judge at the Lafayette Comedy Roast Battle. During the showdown between Ken Edwards and Joshua Jordan, Poirier picked Joshua as the winner, which Ken didn't take lightly. Ken, in true comedic style, roasted Dustin right back.
Let me refresh that real quick.
Hold on, Dustin. I don't want to fight you. Actually, I ain't scared of you, bro. I know how to take you down, bro. All I gotta do is get behind the title. You'll never reach me.
Dirty. Is Dustin laughing?
Yeah, Dustin was like laughing and
That's
having a good
funny.
time with it, yeah.
That's good. Last break, kids, and we'll jump right back in the episode. Because if you're going to watch UFC 313 with your boys, have a few drinks, you're like, man, I can't be hungover because my kids' rec ball starting on Sunday. What am I going to do? I gotcha. Get the Sure Shot Companion. What's that? Yes. Well, have those drinks. Because Sure Shot's the world's first alcohol detoxifier that reduces blood alcohol content in as little as 30 minutes. This is no snake oil. This is the real deal, Holyfield. When you drink Sure Shot, sharper mind and body, liver support, well-being boost, gut support, hydration, we got you, man. So just go to SureShot.com, get a 4-pack, save 10% using the code Brendan. That's SureShot.com. Or go to Amazon, TikTok, or your local Bevmo and get a 4-pack for you and the homies. Sober up. This is this Clapback Thursday thing?
Let me just play this for you. This is Oscar De La Hoya.
Joe Rogan dropped another episode of his podcast yesterday with guest Peter Berg, who is a big-time Hollywood director and producer.
Why is Oscar De La Hoya offered an opinion on who Crawford would fight? Oscar De La Hoya is not Crawford's manager, is he?
Yeesh.
I don't believe so.
Will you pause it real quick? I listened to that episode, and I like, what's his name? What?
Peter Berg.
Peter Berg does great movies, and he owns Wild Card West out here. He's been around for a while in the boxing scene. I've been over there. His take on fighting was, I don't use this word ever, cringy. I was like, eesh, fuck. He's like, do fighters really need managing coaches? Do coaches really do anything? Because I watch so many fights, and it just goes out the window. I was like, the fuck are you talking about? It was super cringy. He was like, I was going to take a fight in Mexico. They told me I could take a pro fight. I could pay the guy to take a fall. And Rogan's like, don't do that. See, I was thinking about it. It was just like, talk about movies, dude. Just
So he's out of his element, yeah.
yeah, and I think they get around Rogan. He's like, he knows fighting. It's like Zuckerberg, like, I shoot bow and arrows with Peter Berg. I'm like, just fucking talk about movies, dude. It was super cringy. And when you go, why is Oscar De La Hoya giving an opinion on any boxing match? He doesn't manage him. It's like, Peter, I know Oscar's, a wild boy now and, all the shit he's doing and the fake abs and all that shit. I don't condone all that. But don't get it twisted, dude. I know he's this weird character now in the boxing community. You think your opinion's more valuable than Oscar De La Hoya's in fucking boxing? Because you gave an opinion. You gave opinion on Canelo. You gave opinion on Jake Paul, Terrence Crawford. You make movies. That's not real. It's all fake, and I love it. I love his stuff. I'm a huge supporter. But when it comes to fighting, for you to go, why is Oscar De La Hoya giving any opinion? Like, hey, Peter, he's one of the greatest. I know he's crazy now. It still doesn't take away from anything that one of the greatest fighters of all time. So if Oscar wants to talk about Bud Crawford or Gervonta Davis or Canelo or Anthony Joshua, he's earned that right, Bud. The fuck are you talking about? His fight talk was tough. Tough. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'll play it to the end because the end is the most fascinating part.
That's why I'm commenting on Terrence Crawford.
I don't think he has anything to do with it.
Do you watch?
Oscar seems like he's a little off the rails.
Do you
these days.
watch?
The rankings have him at number 1 at 154 pounds when he doesn't even fight at that weight anymore. I'm commenting because my fighter, Verge Ortiz, easily beat Nadrimov last Saturday. Much easier than Crawford did. I'm also commenting because it's my job to be a promoter and to promote my fighter.
That's one of the
and
greatest
to
ever
get
do it.
people talking just like you two right now. Also, Joe, I'm off the rails? Really? All right. Let's take a look at your evolution over the last 15 years. God damn! Man, I'm glad I cleaned up my life and got off those drugs. Joe, what? It must be in your contract that you have to stay hating on me and can't say one nice word about me. I mean, Peter complimented me on my career and some other things I'm doing, and you bring up those thongs and fishnets and fake abs? Bro, stop being petty. I mean, you refuse to put me on your podcast when the majority of your content is MMA or boxing centered. I mean, I understand Daddy Dana won't let you have me over on your podcast or mention me in a positive way. But come on, Joe. You have a mind of your own. Or I thought you did. So let me propose something. That would be the highest rated show you'll ever do.
Not true.
Have me and your Daddy Dana on your podcast together. You can moderate it so it'll be 2 against 1. And I'm fine with it because I'm an open book.
I like it.
Why wouldn't you want to do this?
I like it.
The ball is in your court.
Oh, okay, Oscar with a W here.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I would so be.
I thought he was gonna say, "Have me on your show. It'd be the highest rating show ever." It's like it won't.
No.
be.
With Dana.
But when we said Dana, now okay, now you get my attention.
Yeah.
That was a good take by Oscar there. I don't like that he's hating on Joe in that, especially after his history with shit. But yeah, good W for Oscar.
I mean, if that show happened, that would be one of the biggest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's right.
Dana
and him
Oscar.
would be great. And Joe is the mediator of it. It'd be sick.
But he's saying like it's going to be 2 against 1. No, Joe's going to be, just the mediator. He'll be fine. Last one for current events. This is I don't know what podcast this is, but then this is about a curse with John Anik. I'll just play it for you.
There's the John Anik curse. I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this, but at like the weigh-ins, if the fighter puts their arm around you, they lose.
Oh, wow.
What? The Usman and Edwards.
So what?
Put his arm around you. And then Strickland and DDP. Strickland put his arm around you, the first one. And then Connor and Poirier, too. Connor put his arm around you, and it was touching you. And Poirier, people seem to think that Poirier knows about the curse because he put his arm behind you, but he wasn't touching you. And then Poirier won. So.
Wow. You need to tell these guys to not put their arm around me, huh? Jeez,
yes,
I did
that's
not
a message for all you fighters.
know anything about
Keep your hands off John.
Oh, my gosh.
And then, which commentator would you challenge to a power slam?
I guess I would say Dominic Cruz because, he doesn't have the biggest hands. And, I think I could beat Cruz in power slap, actually.
Oh, wow.
Dom, you want some?
Book it. And there's the
He's just fucking around.
He's fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
that curse ain't cool. I get it.
All right, that's pretty much it.
That's it. All right, kids, enjoy UFC 313 this freaking Saturday. It's a big one. Enjoy the fights. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Love you guys. That's it. I'm out.